What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Spawn Point Podcast. We are doing another mini this week. Jason, how you doing, man?
Good, man. I'm kind of excited about this one. I mean, granted, we're not doing a full episode, but the last time we did one of these, our top 5 favorite consoles. I say that wrong every time. My wife gives me shit. She's like, you don't say that word, right? I was like, I don't care. That one ended up being a really fun episode. Yeah. So I think this will too.
I think this will be a good episode also. Basically, we do these when shit comes up for us and we're not able to do the full thing. So I'll be out of state for a grad party for my cousin in Nebraska, 7.5 hours away. So I'll be back on Sunday, but that's going to be after a 7.5 hour drive. And I'm in pain the way that it is, and then sitting in a car for 7.5 hours on top of it would be a nightmare. So I'd probably show up pissed. And then obviously it's Mother's Day on the day yesterday when you're watching this. So
yeah. Hopefully you had a good Mother's Day.
Yeah, hopefully you did. So it just made more sense for us to not try to squeeze it in with all that. So we're doing a mini, and I don't think we're missing a lot this week anyway. So it's a pretty good week for a mini.
I think it's a perfect week for it.
Jason, what are we doing today for this mini podcast? It is your suggestion. So what are we doing?
So what we're doing this week for our mini, like I said, the last time we did one of these, we did our top 5 favorite video game consoles of all time. Mm-hmm. And I figured let's just go for the jugular for this one and just do our top 5 favorite games of all time. And I will tell you, it was tough.
Incredibly so.
Very tough.
I've been a gamer my whole life, and I've never been tasked with actually giving my top 5 games before. So,
really?
No, I've never even thought about it. Like, not even one time. So, yeah, it was tough.
God, it's something I've thought about, but never really sat down and was like, all right, I'm gonna figure out my top 5. Yeah, put pen to paper. I was gonna say that, but I don't do that. So put finger to phone.
Yeah, finger to phone. I haven't either. So I got a list I'm happy with, but I feel like this could fluctuate on a day-to-day basis. So I don't
100%.
So yeah, there's a lot of things to think about when you do a top 5. You got to think about nostalgia and what it meant to you at the time, and the game itself, and all that. So I don't know. It is what it is. Either way, though, we're going to be doing our top 5 favorite games of all time, just like in the previous mini podcast, kind of a competitive clash of the list, so to speak. So let us know what you like better, which list you prefer down below. And also, if you'd like to leave your top 5 favorite games in the comments down below, we would love to read those off next episode or something along that. So consider doing that for us too. We would appreciate that. Before we get into it, we should probably do the housekeeping.
Okay.
Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. You can listen to the show on all of those platforms. We recommend YouTube. We post content on there all the time, so you're going to get a drip feed of content from Jason and I both on there. So consider checking us out on YouTube. Even if you do listen to the show on the other platforms, YouTube is where we're always at, pretty much. So check us out there. You can get a hold of us on social media on pretty much anything. If you look for Spawn Point Network, you'll find us on almost all of those. Yep. So go ahead and do that. If you don't use social media, we do have an email, spawnpointnetwork@outlook.com. That is spawnpointnetwork@outlook.com.
You're goddamn right it is.
Goddamn right it is. Business inquiries can be sent there, as well as comments, whatever concerns, whatever you want to send over there. We would appreciate that. And other than that, I think that's... join the Discord. I always forget the damn Discord. Link in the description for the Discord. That thing is growing. We're talking and talking whatever. Talking games and all that fun stuff.
A little bit of everything in there.
Yes. Games and other things. It's not just games. It's just kind of whatever we want to talk about. So...
Yep. 100%.
That is it. So we're gonna do this damn list, and then I got a rant at the end of the episode I want to cover, and maybe we'll talk some more shit at the end. So other than that, Jason, I think there's no better place to start than with your number 5.
Okay, so we joked a little bit before we started this recording. I'm like, this list could change tomorrow, but whatever. I'm happy with what I got. I feel like I leaned a little bit more into nostalgia for this list, but
Same.
nostalgia because they're good games.
Yeah.
So my number 5 of my top 5 favorite games of all time, Super Metroid.
Okay. I like
So
it.
yeah, so a big part of this one is the excitement that I had playing this game. I've talked about it before. I didn't have it initially. My neighbor did, and I would get home from school and rush up to his house, and we would sit and play Super Metroid. And not the best kind of game for. We didn't, it's obviously it isn't co-op. It's a single player game, but we just kind of take turns going back and forth
Yeah.
playing this one. But the atmosphere, the gameplay, I hadn't played a game like this before. I hadn't played the original Metroid at the time. I mean, this came out in '94, so I would have been 14. And it blew me away.
Yeah.
I mean, this was like the first, the term Metroidvania obviously is Metroid and Castlevania, but this is the one that they're talking about when
Mhm.
the Metroid part
Yep.
of it. This was like the epitome of a Metroid game.
Mhm.
So some of the reasons that I absolutely loved it, I already mentioned the mood. It was just very moody. It had virtually no dialogue in it at
Mhm.
all. It was all told through the story and like the story elements and stuff. And you kind of piece the narrative together yourself. So I just thought that was so cool. And you didn't really think about it at the time, like while you're playing it. You didn't like think, hey, nobody's talking in it. It just worked.
Mhm.
And you just kind of there was a lot of mystery around it. And I don't know, I just loved it. The interconnected giant map, love it or hate it. This was the first time I had seen something like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing is huge. Obviously doors that you couldn't get into, and you knew at some point you'd be able to find something to be able to get you into that door. Um, yeah, and I don't know. I just the moment to moment gameplay and getting that new upgrade and stuff and being like, I remember that door. Then you'd run back to it and finally be able to open it up and just see this whole new area that you hadn't seen before. Just absolutely loved it. And for like a 16-bit title, I mean, it still holds up. I mean, we talked about
100%.
Super Mario World, same kind of, era, and it just still holds up today, and it's amazing. And one of the things this game did really well too is like I I almost call it like an invisible tutorial. It didn't there it taught you how to do things just through the game itself. Like you would go into a room and you'd see these like creatures and stuff, and they would like, you know, bounce off a wall and then jump up and then like leave out of the way. And you're like, oh, so you'd learn how to wall jump and stuff just by doing that. That was throughout the whole game.
Yep.
There was no like tutorials. It was just like just pay attention, watch the game. The game will kind of give you hints on what you're supposed to do. So yeah, I mean, some people consider it like a near perfect video game. It's definitely up there for me. So that is why Super Metroid is my number 5 favorite game of all time.
I think that is a great shout. I've actually gone back and played this. I think I beat it, but it has been a while since I played it. I wasn't even. I was if anything in '94, I was a fetus. I don't even know when this came out. I was born in '94, but
Well, you weren't playing it then, I can tell you that.
Not at the time. I went back as an adult,
Nah.
probably a teenager to be honest, but it is like
God, that makes me feel old.
it is a super good looking pixel art game. It's one of those we've talked about it before, but like Super Nintendo pixel art ages so much better than early 3D era, even 360 era stuff. So this is a game you can easily go back and jump into. And you know, it is definitely a Metroidvania, which is kind of the overarching term that encompasses it now, but this is like the first one, to be fair.
Yeah. The original.
They only lump in the Castlevania bit because of Symphony of the Night, which basically was a Metroid game in Castlevania universe. So, so yeah, it's really where that started. And I mean, obviously that genre continues to grow even to this day, as we still are seeing 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 Metroidvanias released in a month. Not really my genre. I've talked about that before, but this is an outstanding choice for your number 5. I love the choice, and I was expecting some of these from you, some of these old.
I had a feeling that we wouldn't be super surprised by each other's list, but
you might be surprised by mine. We'll see, though.
I might be more surprised by yours, to be honest.
I think I'll be surprised by yours too. I think we got some stuff coming. So again, I had a hard time. So I initially was like, I'm going to take all my favorite genres and I'm going to put the pinnacle of each genre. So I did that, and then I was like, nope, I don't like the look of this. So I ended up going completely different direction with it. So mine is very, very nostalgia heavy as well. Starting off, number 5. I don't know how I feel about this being here, but I put Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare at number 5. Okay, so for me, this was the first online Call of Duty that I played. And Call of Duty did absorb a large portion of my gaming time when I was a teenager. So I had to have some sort of representation for that era of my life. And I would say undoubtedly COD 4 was really the hook that kind of got me involved in that going forward. It was a much different time. Call of Duty was much more designed, I suppose, around actually playing the game to unlock things. And there was systems in place that, you know, at each level up, you were getting cool stuff to interact with in the game. It wasn't all horrendously monetized to the upteenth degree, and what was also it was the way that it should still be, to be fair. You know, but in specific, Call of Duty 4, as it jumped from COD 3, which, you know, COD 1 through 3 were all World War II games. COD 4 was like the first modern warfare. That was the subtitle of the game. And I just liked the weapon variety. I loved the maps. I did play through the story. I've played through that story probably 3-4 times. It's not really it's a good Call of Duty story. They're usually just popcorn flicks, so it's not really on the list for that in particular, but it's on it just because of the memories that I have with that era of gaming. It was kind of the Goldilocks era for me, where everything was perfect, and this was kind of the catalyst to that. So we got lucky with COD 4 Remastered when Advanced Warfare came out. I played the shit out of that as well. So that just kind of re-solidified this game as one of my all-time favorites when it got the uplift and stuff like that. So just a fantastic game. The maps were fun. And, you know, like I said, that was the era where you had a very active friends list of people that you actually knew and people were playing games together. Nowadays, that's not really a thing at all. I don't play with anyone anymore, but I could always pop on Call of Duty 4 at any time somehow. I could pop on Call of Duty 4 at 2 a.m. on a school night, and I'd have a group of 4 people that also had to go to school playing games as well. So just a different time in gaming in general. But it's my number 5, very much so for nostalgia, but it's also a very competent and fun first-person shooter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So. I was never like I dabbled in Call of Duty throughout my years of gaming
Mhm.
to here and there. I'd usually play for a little bit and then kind of hop off. But 4 definitely probably was the one that I played the most.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of the similarities to you. I had friends, a bunch of friends that were online playing it. We'd actually go over to each other's houses and like play online, and like there was like a group of
Mhm.
like 5 or 6 of us, and like I'd go over to my buddy's house and he'd be playing it. So I'd watch him play a little bit, then I'd play, and then like the friends that we knew were also online playing it, and some days that they were over at his house
Yeah,
too, and it was just like a big community
it was.
type thing, just craziness
Mhm.
that happened in that game. Yeah, that great pick.
Yeah, I mean,
I
let
don't think I was expecting a
yeah,
COD, but that
I
totally makes sense.
it could easily slip. This is like what I'm much more confident about my top 3, but I mean, this was it,
Yeah.
you know, the thing with COD in particular that I remember was like there were multiplayer games before it, but just the lobby system, the matchmaking system, the way that it, you could select a mode and it would put you in lobbies. There was no, again, another blast from the past system, but once you got in a lobby, you stayed in that same lobby for as long as the host was in the lobby. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
you were able to actually find people and actually make kind of friendships through these lobbies at that time. Whereas now you go into a team deathmatch, you get kicked out to the fucking main menu. You got to find a new match every single
Oh,
game. So,
every time.
you know,
Yeah.
we had made friends with just some random fucking people. We had this
Oh,
guy
yeah.
named Frenchie that he was like a French Canadian guy. I don't even remember what his gamer tag was, but we called him Frenchie. And he ended up playing with us from COD 4 all the way through like Modern Warfare 2, and we lost touch. But just like it was a different era, man. It really was, and it was
Yeah.
just a solid ass fucking game. I don't know. So it's on there. It made the list. God damn it! I kind
I
of
like it. Honestly, I like it. I think COD 4, I mean, didn't it have like some of the best like multiplayer maps too, if
it
I
had
remember
fantastic
right?
maps. Yeah,
Oh, great maps.
it was
Yeah.
back in the day when well, it was all we had really. I mean, that was like so
True.
we didn't really bitch much about maps, and
No.
but even going back to the remaster that they released, what's probably been fucking 10 years ago now, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, even going back then, I mean, like broadcast, I still like Crash, Strikeout,
Oh,
or
yeah.
Strike.
Oh, yeah.
There's just
Us, yeah.
there's just so many of them.
Mhm.
Bog, they're just like really good. They're all still really good to this day, but that could be nostalgia. But I don't know. That was before I was a critic. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't like picking apart every little piece of
Mhm.
everything, and I could just enjoy it for what it was. So
Yeah, for sure.
COD 4, I will say, probably not fun now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how well it hold up now, but it was great at the
That's
time.
yeah, it's hard to say, but like you were saying about like Super Metroid, like I did go back like probably last year and played
Mm-hmm.
it for a little bit and it still holds up. But there are
Perfectly,
those
yeah.
games that I just there are games that I don't want to go back to because I want to remember them like I did, and this could be one of those, but it doesn't matter because it was so fun at the time.
Yep, absolutely. That's
So yeah,
definitely the case. Definitely true. You can play the whatever they called it, but that's probably
I
dead by
don't
now
remember
as well.
remaster. Yeah,
Yeah, I ended up
yep.
buying Advanced War. I think it was Advanced Warfare that it was the one that it came with before they released it as a standalone. But you had to buy Advanced
Yeah.
Warfare to get it. What a fucking shithole. But either way, I bought that one just for COD 4 remastered. But
It's a
anyways,
different time for COD now.
yes, it is. Can just be killed any day, and I'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Yep, no loss.
Nope.
Okay, should we move on to our number
Let's
4s?
go to number 4.
Okay, so my number 4 is Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
Okay, a little KOTOR action.
Yep, little KOTOR action. I absolutely loved this game, when it came out, back in 2003? Yeah. Um, yeah, absolutely loved KOTOR. It was like playing like a new Star Wars movie. Like it had such a good story and engaging characters that like I mean, it's better the story in this is better than some of the movies. I mean, to be honest, I think it
Mhm.
is just it was so good. I mean, and it was BioWare at its peak. Um an amazing, you know, RPG. You know, the cool thing about it is it was set like 4,000 years before like the first movie, so they had like kind of free reign to kind of design a story around whatever they wanted to, and it just worked. And this was honestly before there were still a lot of like Star Wars books and that kind of stuff out at the time. So there was some stuff they had to kind of work around, but they kind of just, you know, did what they wanted to with this story. So just a massive RPG. I'm you know, looking I mean, if you played it today, it's probably not as it wouldn't feel quite as huge as it did at the time, but at the time I was just like, "Oh my god, this game is just it's so massive and there's all these places that you can go to." And I loved all the characters. I just thought they were really well done. I liked the sort of like I don't even know what you called that combat. It was like real time, but like you could pause and like assign different, you know, attacks and things and then let it kind of play out. Your character would continue to hit until the the enemy was dead. I don't know. It was just I just liked how it played. And I hadn't played I was never like a turn-based kind of person. I've learned to love those over the years, but at the time, I wasn't into that kind of stuff, and this was like the closest thing that I had played to one of those, and was probably the first game that I was like, maybe I should give this genre, you know, a chance. Even though it played out kind of in real time, you could still assign, you know, attacks and stuff, like I said. So,
Hmm.
um, one of the other things I really loved was the good versus evil, you know, part of it. You literally like it and it didn't it wasn't like you made a choice and it did this. You made a choice, it did this. It kind of happened over time, and the more you kept going in one direction or another, your character would like change to like more of a hero or like a villain. I always play these games as good guys. I played this multiple times, and I did play one time through as evil. I didn't find it
Mhm.
as fun because you could just go in and kill everything, you
Mhm.
know. If somebody wanted you to like go get something for him, you just kill him and then, you know,
Mhm.
the quest kind of be over. There were all kinds of I remember I worked at Office Max at the time,
Jeez.
long time ago, and two of the other guys I worked with were playing this, and we would come into work, and just we were supposed to be working, but we would just talk about this. And like I just remember times where there was this one quest where you had to like solve this mystery. You had to like hack into these cameras and like follow this guy and figure out like who did what or whatever. And I thought I had it nailed. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I got him." And then I would talk to this guy at work and he's like, "Actually, did you find this other part with this other camera?" It turns out he didn't do it. I'm like, "What?" Like I was just like blown away. I was like, "I thought I had this nailed." And yeah, it just one thing after another in this game just kept me it just kept me hooked. There was a huge plot twist in it that I was like, "What?" I
Yeah.
still remember to this day. It just yeah, I don't really know what else to say. It was just an amazing RPG um
Oh yeah.
at the time. Absolutely loved it. Played it
I
multiple.
never played this, so
Oh,
maybe it's a cardinal sin. But
well,
by the time I was like ready for an RPG, this game was old. So I just kind
oh
of
yeah.
didn't. I just kind of like didn't. I just never went back to it. But this is the game I hear about all the time. Everybody that played it seems to absolutely love it. So, um, I was a little bit interested. I didn't know that combat was like, I thought it was just kind of a hack and slash, but I think I'm thinking of, uh, oh dear.
Like
What the hell were those? Um,
the on Force Unleashed games.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Those were more hack and slash. This was like as soon as you like you just be crossing like an area, whatever, and then like enemies would pop up and the game would automatically pause, and then you could like switch between your characters and be like, I want this person to go after this person go after this person to do like some sort of effect that would affect all the characters, and then you'd let that play out a little bit, see if it worked. If it wasn't working, you could pause it and change up your strategy. And
Damn.
I don't know. It was really cool.
It sounds cool. It says it's round based. Time is divided into discrete rounds, and combatants attack and react simultaneously. However, the number of actions a combatant may perform each round is limited. Sounds like it would hold up still to this day. I'm gonna have to try it.
I mean,
graphically rough.
Yes,
but that's something you're gonna have to get over.
Yep. I honestly, even at the time, it wasn't like super impressive graphically. I think the scale was more impressive.
Sure.
And all the planets that you could visit. Like, I mean, even though it was set 4,000 years before even the first film, I mean, there was iconic planets that are still in the Star Wars universe today. I mean, there's a big section on Tatooine. That's probably one of my favorite planets in the Star Wars universe. And it just felt so cool, like crossing this Tatooine desert, and you see like sand crawlers and Jawas, running around. I'm like, this is like so cool. Like you're playing your own version of a Star Wars movie. Yeah, super cool.
This can't be.
What are you looking at? Obsidian did Knights of the Republic 2, which was also good.
It says they released the Legacy of the Sith, an expansion, February 15th of 2022 for this game.
Really?
That's what it said. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Either way,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know either. Anyways,
what do you have there? What the Knights of the Old Republic 2 was called? Like Revenge? No, something of the Sith or something. Fuck, I don't remember.
No, I'm retarded.
Maybe that's.
I don't even know if that was something different. No. You're right, because we talked about that was something different. That was just Star Wars: The Old Republic. That's the MMO.
Old Republic. That's the MMO. Yes.
Okay. That's not what I was
looking at. Which I played that a little bit too.
I don't know how I ended up on that page, so just ignore everything I just fucking said there. That was retarded.
Sounds good.
That was retarded.
I usually do that anyway.
I don't know how I ended up there. This came out in 2003.
Yep.
So yeah, I figured it out how I got there. I'm on Wikipedia.
Okay.
It says first release Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, July 15, 23. Latest release, and then it says Star Wars The Old Republic, Legacy of the Sith, which is not related.
Nope.
Anyway, okay, cool. Well, Wikipedia is a piece of shit. I'm just trying to keep track of shit. Anyways, very cool. I wish I had more to say. This is not one I played, so
no, it's all right.
Criminal Sin.
Yep.
Is Woody Dash. I do have it on Steam. I checked. I have 15 minutes played.
Oh, nice.
15 minutes. I probably got a good. Great taste of it.
You're probably a couple battles in on the original ship that you start on, and that is just a tiny fraction of what this game is.
Good boy. Well, throw it on the backlog. Fuck it. Let's go.
There you go. Yeah, add it to your 1,000 games.
Number 4 for me. I think this this game has just kind of been grandfathered into my top 5 of all time. It's Super Mario Sunshine. So, I think this is the greatest 3D Mario game of all time. I've talked about it on the show numerous times, and I got to stop saying that because maybe somebody's listening to this for their very first episode. So, I will stop saying that. Super Mario Sunshine is a game I played to hell and back as a kid, and then I've also, I went through a phase where I used to speedrun this game. So I've probably beaten
Oh wow.
Super Mario Sunshine close to 100 times. Ridiculous amount of times. But I love this game. It was. I didn't play 64. I didn't have a 64. I was gaming at that time. I just didn't have a 64 growing up, and I kind of jumped to GameCube, and this is the one that I attached myself to. It's not telling a fantastic story, but is in typical Mario fashion here. It's just a very, very solid platforming game. I loved the setting. Isle Delfino was just really cool to be in.
Yeah.
It was very visually appealing at the time, and it was just fun. And the game was structured very similar to 64 in that you spray. In this game, you spray a statue, and then you can jump in, and then there's a bunch of different objectives for one level that you have to go through and do all these different objectives in one stage. So you learn these maps very, very thoroughly as you're playing through the game, and it just hits for me. I can't like give you a specific reason why this over any other Mario game I've played, but this is the only one that I will continue for the remainder of my life to go back and play. It's just a really fun fucking game. I don't know. I can't even really say that I've beaten another 3D Mario from front to back, because every time I play them, I just like, eh. And then I just end up going back to Sunshine. I don't know what it is, but it's just baked into my brain. So yeah, I'll always forever love Sunshine.
Yeah, dude, great pick. It's just I'm the Nintendo guy, and you picked the first Mario game on the list. But yeah, great. What?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that everybody kind of complains when they talk about Sunshine about the challenge, and to that I would just say you're a fucking wimp. You're a weenie. I don't. There is some challenging stages that takes FLUDD away, but they're not like that big of a deal. But like that's the only thing I hear people like say negatively, and they say in 64's favor is that it's not as challenging or whatever. But to that I just disagree. Anyways, yeah, I just love Sunshine. That's kind of all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I have heard those complaints. And I feel like I disagree as well. When FLUDD does get taken away, I mean, it is just more like 64. You're just controlling Mario and stuff. You don't have I don't know. I never thought, yes, it had its challenge, but every game has its challenge.
Well, it needs
and I
to.
never,
Yeah. I think it
looking
needs to
back
have
on it, right. I don't ever remember being like, oh, I'm not enjoying this because of the challenge. I loved Sunshine, and I've played it through not 100 times, but I've played through it at least a few times.
Yeah. When you go for like all the star or all the shine sprites, there is some stinker. Like there's some tough.
Oh yeah.
There's some tough levels in there, but nothing like so crazy that you have to dock the game. But everybody's got their own tastes.
Yeah.
But
have you ever played Odyssey?
I never got out of the first world.
Okay.
I've tried.
Odyssey was a kind of a slower start for me. I played it kind of after like the whole hullabaloo that of how great of a game it is, and it did take a little bit more for me to get into it. But then once you kind of get past that first world and start kind of figuring out what the game wants you to do and how the setup is, it turns into. I still think Odyssey is, a masterpiece. It is such a good 3D Mario game. But same thing like you were just saying with Sunshine. I mean, it's not overly challenging throughout the whole game. The challenge comes from all of the 8 billion moons that, if you want to track those down and stuff, those get pretty challenging. But
I would like to get back into Odyssey, but I think it does have a slow burn.
It does.
It's just like, boy, like it takes a while. I've never gotten over the hill like you have, so keep kind of restarting and then getting to the same point. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's got some cool ideas, but I don't know. We'll try.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's my number 4. We're tangenting.
Okay, yes, we are.
Let's go to number 3. Your number 3.
All right.
Jason.
We are breaking into the top 3. And my number 3 favorite video game of all time is Halo Combat Evolved.
Ooh,
The
CE. Like it.
First Halo. I mean, I like all of them, but the first one, just, I was like, this is what a console can play a first-person shooter this well. I was just so surprised. I'd never been a big PC guy.
Mhm.
I knew all the great shooters and stuff on the PC, and I looked at them from a distance and went, "That's cool. I won't play that because I don't have the way to play that." And then Halo came out, and I'm like, "What is this?" And my brother actually had played through the whole game before I had even touched it for the first time. I think he played it at a friend's house or something before I even had the OG Xbox. And he kept telling me, he's like, we need to figure out a way to get an Xbox. You have to play this game. And then finally we did. And I remember he sat by me, I would say for the majority of my playthrough of that game, just like excited for like me to like see these things and to play this game.
Damn.
And to like, I remember the first time the flood was introduced, you're going through these corridors and stuff, and you're hearing these noises, and I'm like, dude, I would pause it and be like, what's coming? Like, you have to tell me. He's like, nope. I'm like, it was like tense. It was tense for like a first person shooter, and just moments. There was all kinds of moments like that in this game that just it blew me away. Driving the Warthog around, I was like, this is so fun, and playing co-op with people and having somebody jump in the back, and shoot. And even if you were playing by yourself, the AI I thought was great. The enemy AI was great. They would flank you. They would run behind cover, and I'm just like, this is amazing, and this was 2001.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I didn't know that games could be like this. I was generally blown away by this. One of the other really cool things I thought that Bungie did so well and still does well is, I think they called it the Golden Triangle, which was gunplay, grenades, and melee.
Yep.
And working your way back and forth through those, and having a dedicated button to throw a grenade instead of like going through some sort of inventory to pull out your grenade. Having a button that just threw those, and then as soon as you threw that, your gun was back up. Dude, I was just I just thought it was amazing. They also I feel like it was one of the first games that did like a limit. You had a 2-weapon limit. You had all these other shooting games where you just had like an inventory full of weapons. You had 2. So like you would have like your the assault rifle, or and like the pistol. The pistol
was overpowered as fuck.
Pistol was so overpowered. But at the time, I didn't think about that. I'm like, this gun just fucking rules. And how far away you could shoot people with that, it was definitely overpowered. I thought the enemy design was great. I already mentioned like the AI, but like the grunts, if there's 3 of them running at you, you shoot one, the other 2 will like, wah, and run off, or you blow them up and they just go flying. It just, I was blown away by this game. The recharging shield, the 30 seconds of fun that they were talking about, how like, you run in, you do as much as you can, you start getting hit, you retreat, you let that shield, fill back up. There were health packs. You had, I think, 3 or 4 little things, but like you essentially tried to like not let any of them get, or was that later?
No, that was Combat Evolved.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, because I remember seeing the white packs and stuff on the wall. But yeah, just and Bungie has said this about their game. They like that, like every 30 seconds something has to like happen, and they just did that so well. The environments, the Silent Cartographer mission, I can go back and play that right now and have just as much fun. I just
Mhm.
it wasn't an open world. It was just a very large playground
Yep.
to basically run around in, and you'd find like a sniper rifle and be like, okay, should I take that now and replace it with this? Because I might need to pick off some people in the distance, and then you like go into like corridors, and then you want like the more up close, you get the shotgun out,
Mhm.
and stuff. I love the strategy, of playing a shooter, and having to think about what weapons and stuff you want to bring in. Even like those outdoor snow levels, and you've got the banshees and stuff. That oh my god, I'm gonna go play it right now. It's still so much fun. The
Yeah.
multiplayer was amazing.
Mhm.
I found a way. My brother and I were able to. There was this website that you could go to and connect your PC to your Xbox and actually play Halo online with other people because it didn't have that
Mhm.
natively. It wasn't like built in. We did a ton of that. I thought that was my first like online multiplayer stuff, and I was like, this freaking rules.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah, hell yeah.
yeah, Halo, man, the first Halo. I mean, I got my Master Chief helmet
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
there. He'll
Yep.
always have a special place, in my heart. So
Absolutely. I love that.
yeah,
I love that for you. Halo was really like the first game to really modernize the control scheme for shooters. You know, it really was. Before that, you had shit. I'm trying to think what
oh,
I just go back to like old school boomer shooter before Halo, pretty much. I can't think of anything else. And obviously, those games are controlled completely differently. They're
oh yeah,
usually a one stick game, which is very hard to go back to nowadays. But yeah, I
yeah,
mean, Halo definitely modernized and it's really crazy to think about how all that game did on the original Xbox.
yes,
This was before the 360, and it almost feels like it would fit better on the 360 than it does on the original Xbox. So it's just surprising to think about how much that game did at that time.
yeah.
It
What
was
they could pull
really
off.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, at the time.
yeah,
Yeah,
very cool.
great great
I
game.
don't. Yeah, I think I played three more than. I mean, I definitely played three more than CE, but um, the whole for Halo franchise is fantastic,
Yeah.
and I think CE is a good shout. I don't think a lot of people would say CE over two or three. So good on you, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I loved all like I said, I loved all of them. 3 was fantastic. I think for me, it goes like 1, 3, 2.
Yeah,
The only thing I didn't care for as much with 2 is I didn't like playing as the Covenant
Covenant.
as much. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very cool like, I didn't get anything spoiled for me, and then you know, all of a sudden the camera zooms in and you're playing as, what do they call him? Uh,
It's been so long. I don't know.
he's got, like, a name or something, yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh my god, you're playing as a Covenant?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a really, really cool concept. I just didn't like it. Always
Yeah.
wanted to be Chief. I
Yeah. Of
just
course.
always wanted to be Chief, so
Of course. Well, that's awesome.
yeah, yep.
Really missed an opportunity to
Nostalgic.
put Halo 3 at your number three, though. Number three, three,
Oh,
three, three. Yeah,
that
yeah.
would've been
Nah, I'm
cool.
just fucking
I
with you.
just
That is cool.
the first one though, man, it just holds a special
That's
spot.
fantastic. That's fucking awesome. And I'm glad you and your brother had a moment with that game too. That
Oh, yeah, we sure
sounds
did.
like something you can cherish
Mhm.
for a lifetime. And I will
I will
actually,
never
yeah,
forget that part
yeah.
with the flood and stuff, and I'm like, "What?" I kept pausing, and he's like, "Stop pausing it. Just find out." I'm like, "Dude, I don't want." I was, like, scared.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think I'm gonna throw in the trailers for these games and we talk about them just so that way you
Oh,
guys
sure.
can get like a. So I'll just throw it over our faces. So you've probably already seen four of them, but I'm just thinking of that on the fly. So I'll roll the trailer once while we're talking and
Yeah,
transition it out and stuff like that. But
that's cool.
very cool game. Very cool. You can play it on the Master Chief Collection, and I guess
Collection.
apparently they're remastering CE again
They're calling it a remake. They're just fully, like, remaking it,
with just
which
single player. I think
just
no,
single player.
yeah, which is
Yep.
I don't know. The Master Chief Collection was a fucking remake too, because you could hit the button and look at the old graphics. So
Yes, you could.
it's very strange, but I respect it.
It is very strange.
Are they really going to remake all of them? Is that the plan? I don't know.
I don't know. I hadn't heard that, but
I mean, why? They're starting with CE.
Starting with CE, so they may.
Okay. All right. Tangent aside.
Yeah.
You can play it again with fresh eyes, or as a youngster, we got some probably youngsters hanging out that missed that entire era. You should go back and play.
Go back and play it. And now you don't have to play it on the Xbox controller that was this big.
Yeah, no shit. Dude, I was a kid with the Xbox. That thing is fucking monster.
So
absolute monster. Shout out Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball. That game fucks, and it's not a Gooner game. It kind of is, but that game actually was fun to play. I have to say that every time the original Xbox comes up. Anyway,
I never played that
game. Fucking rules, bro. So it probably sucks, but I played it as a kid. And it was awesome, and it was not because of the titties. It was like the game was actually fun at the time.
Yep.
Anyways, moving on from there. My number 3 does fit the 3 theme. Can you guess what my number 3 is? It's the third in a series.
Oh, yes, I can.
Shoot.
I know what it is.
What is it?
God of War 3.
No.
Whoa, what? You fucker.
No, it's Dark Souls 3.
You knew I was going to say that.
I did not know, but it is Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 is my number 3 of all time. God, I have a
thought I had it.
I thought that's a good shout, and honestly, I feel like it might have got snubbed off my list because it is such a good game. But that's not what's here. Dark Souls 3. So I remember fondly Demon's Souls coming out on PS3 and the discourse around it being, oh my God, it's so hard, and this is changing gaming. It's so difficult. You got to be a real gamer to play it and stuff. So I was not an adult at the time. I was a kid, so I was just like, okay, I'm never playing that series. This is just never going to happen. Fuck that. I don't want anything to do with that. And then they keep coming out, they keep coming out, and then all of a sudden we got to a stage where there were Souls-like. So something clearly caught on about this very hard game that, you weren't really a real gamer unless you could play Dark Souls game or whatever the fuck it may be. So anyways, all this time passed by, all these games came out, and I made a challenge. I was live streaming at the time. This was when I was doing my own personal content. And I was on Mixer, which is no longer around live streaming service that I absolutely adored and loved, but I actually was able to gain a little bit of a following over there and had a nice community. And I set a challenge that if we hit a certain spark limit, I would play Dark Souls 3. I set it astronomically high, thinking that nobody would hit it, and my community rallied and hit it in a day. And it was, I thought I was fucked, to be honest. So anyways, that initiated my first playthrough of Dark Souls 3. Did it all on live stream with a character I named Shelly, and she looked like an ogre. She had a big old nose, pigtails, gray hair, green. It was fucking ridiculous. But despite me going into it as kind of a joke, thinking that it was just going to be misery and a terrible experience, I ended up falling in love with that game. Head over heels in love with that game. And I've since gone back, replayed it many, many times. It's a difficult one for me because I love Dark Souls 3. I think it is the best Dark Souls game, but I don't necessarily think it's my favorite Souls-like per se. I'm saying this as I'm doing a top 5 list and it's fucking sitting there. But this was the kind of the gateway into that genre for me, which I always thought was way too high for me to reach and be able to complete any games in the series. So because of that, and because of the importance that this game had, not only for the content that I made and shared with the community that I had at the time, but also, like I said, just kind of breaking the barrier down and learning how these games operate and how to function correctly in them, and and all that. It goes here. I think Lies of P is probably a better game. So kind of split here, I guess. You could put Lies of P here if you wanted kind of like my modern take on my favorite Souls-like of all time. But Dark Souls 3 is here just for the importance of it, I guess, in my gaming history. So,
yep, love that.
Very good game.
Yeah, I knew a Souls-like would be somewhere on this list.
Yeah.
Should have guessed that one, but
and I think I think Dark Souls. I'm sorry, I know you're gonna go. I think Dark Souls 3 is a great entry point. I got lucky that I picked 3. I think it is a really solid entry point. It's relatively linear. If you go back to the Demon Souls, for example, you have to pick worlds and bosses, and you have to strategize, and it's kind of a clusterfucky nightmare to try to do it with no game knowledge. So
yeah.
Dark Souls 1, you have this hub that you branch out from, and you can end up going the wrong way, and this, that, and the other. Whereas Dark Souls 3 is pretty linear for the most part, so it kind of leads you where you need to go, and the difficulty slowly ramps throughout the games, and just kind of really did a phenomenal job of easing me into the franchise. So
yeah,
sorry, but that's what I got on.
No. I don't think I realized that about Dark Souls 3. I thought they were all kind of more open, and you got to like pick the path and
yeah, no. And Dark Souls 3 is
interesting.
Pretty Dark Souls 3 is, I would call it linear, honestly. You can't go the wrong way in Dark Souls 3.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
1, you definitely can. 2 is maybe the most controversial game in the history of games. Some people fucking adore 2, some people hate 2. But I'm not sure I played much 2, to be honest. I've beaten 1, I've beaten Demon Souls, and I've beaten 3, and so I have the knowledge of those. I want to go back to Scholar of the First Sin, but it's a much different game. That's besides the point. But yes, Dark Souls 3 is a solid entry point if you want an entry point into a Souls-like, Jason. So is Bloodborne, though.
Yeah, I know. So you've said many times. Yeah, I don't really have much to say with this. I haven't played it. I've always been afraid of the Souls-like games, even though I know that they're very well regarded. But yeah, it just hasn't ever really been my thing. Like I said, I get frustrated easily when I play games, and these seem like they would just
I know. That's why I challenge you, because I was challenged and it changed my perspective. So
yeah,
I think if I can get you in there, I think you'll change your tune.
So my brother is coming to visit on the over Labor Day weekend, and he's like I've told you, he's bringing me his PS4. He's bringing me his old wheel.
Nice.
So I'm gonna get a chance to hook that up and hopefully play some Bloodborne. So
I would love you to play a Bloodborne. You know what else I would love? I would love you to hook your fucking PS4 up to YouTube and stream it on Spawn Point Network.
Ooh, okay. I could do that.
You can do that right from the console, and I can be there.
Ooh.
I can be in a Discord call and help you.
Sweet. Okay. That would be cool. My first real Souls-like.
You got it. We're gonna talk, dude. I really think you will like that fucking game. And I think it will change your entire perspective on the genre as a whole. But you have to.
I think that's what I need.
You have to commit to it, though. Like, you're gonna get stuck, but you have to be like, all right, and you have to analyze when you get stuck and figure out where you can improve and what things you can do and stuff. So having someone with you along that journey to help you kind of show you what your thought process should be, how to pick it apart, will be good. I think I can make you a Souls-like guy.
Yeah.
I think I can.
I'm game, man. Yeah, I don't want to have a whole genre that I'm just not familiar with. There are other ones that I know that I just don't like. I don't like RTSs and stuff like that. But
same.
The Souls being in action. I'm always been an action person. Like I mentioned, I didn't love turn-based stuff. I wanted the action. So yeah, I think I will like that one.
Be fucking sick. So. All right, let's move on.
All right, we're into our top twos. my number 2 actually does fit the whole numbering number 2
I know
thing.
exactly what
You
this is. I actually
do
do
you?
know because I'm a better friend than you.
Ah, come on, man. Fuck off. Okay. Maybe you
Starts with
do,
an
maybe you don't.
H, space, L, space,
Ah,
2.
fuck yeah, you do know it. My number 2 favorite game of all time is Half-Life 2. Man, this game, like, it just kind of revolutionized the shooter genre with atmosphere and storytelling and all that stuff just combined. I fell in love with this like the moment I started playing it. I was like, this is amazing. At the time, it was graphically super impressive. Their their animations of their characters and their faces, and then when they talk to you, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Mhm,
It felt so real at the time. Like Alex, walking around with you, I'm like, this feels like you're walking around with a person,
mhm.
like not some stiff, poorly animated character. I mean, everything was just so well done, and like when she would hop over a railing and just the whole animation of that, I'm like, this they put a lot into this, and
Mhm.
clearly they did. The physics, the physics was probably one of my favorite parts of
Yep.
this game. Not just because the gravity gun, which was an amazing weapon
Mhm.
that you could literally pull things off the wall and shoot at enemies. You could pull a radiator off the wall and shoot it at an enemy. You've got that level where there's like saw blades all over you. Just
Mhm.
grab them out of the wall and shoot them at enemies. It was so freaking cool. The storytelling, like I mentioned, this game had no cutscenes. There was no cutscenes at all. You could literally from moment one, you are basically in Gordon's shoes the entire time. All of the storytelling happened as you are seeing it. I just thought that was so cool. It never pulled you out of that viewpoint, and yet it told an amazing story without having cutscenes.
Yep.
The world design, the City 17 world, it felt so dystopian and so fresh, and just like it just felt like it had been lived in, and then is now kind of being torn down. I just thought it was just so well done. I already mentioned the animations and stuff, and yeah, like I said, it's about a 15-hour game, which is
Mhm.
pretty long
Mhm.
for a shooter, and especially a shooter at the time. And just to think that the whole thing is just, it's not even mission based. There's no select screens on your mission or anything. It is literally just a journey
Mhm.
throughout the entire thing. And this game it holds up to this day. I mean, yeah, it may not look as good as you remember, but it doesn't matter. The gunplay, everything was just so well done in this game. You know, the rocket launcher, when those enemy ships came down, and you could shoot it like in any direction, and
Mhm.
then as long as you kind of guided it back with that beam and hit those ships, the sound design in this too was just absolutely stellar.
Mhm.
And it just, this was Valve like at its peak, and to think
Yeah.
that Half-Life 2 spawned like uh I mean, even Counter-Strike.
Yep.
Counter-Strike was a mod,
Yep.
this,
It was.
and Portal,
Yep.
everything that this game basically spawned off, that it's a masterpiece. I absolutely This was my, well, no, I'm not gonna say too much. Just a fantastic game. And then I remember when the orange box came out, oh god, that was in my console probably more than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You want to talk
Half-Life 2
about
is
a miracle port? I think that the orange box for
yeah,
360 is a miracle port.
yes.
Half-Life 2 could have easily stayed exclusive to PC, but
Yep.
that port is phenomenal.
Mhm.
That got that game to so many more players' hands at the time, and it
And
is
I
incredible.
played this on PC first. I
Oh, you
actually
did.
at that point, yep, I had a decent enough PC that I was able to uh play this game, and I just, like I said, I fell in love from the get-go. I had a crush on Alex, in the game. It was just
Yeah.
like I was
Yeah.
so into it that like
Mhm.
every aspect of this game I just absolutely loved. I love that it was like kind of creepy too. I mean,
It
like
was.
those enemies, like it kind of like they were off-putting
Yeah.
to a point that like amazing.
Very
Amazing game.
amazing. It's and now Valve is the Steam dudes, and they just
Yep.
don't make games anymore.
Yep.
But
Yep. And like another thing, G-Man, I was
yep.
like terrified of
Yeah.
G-Man.
Yeah.
And even my like quote that I put on everything, like because you can on like your Xbox, you can put like a quote. I think I even have it on my Discord.
Uh-huh.
I have the right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a great quote. I don't know. He just he gave me the ick in the best way possible. I was like, I
Yeah.
just thought he was such a good.
It is. It is a truly phenomenal game. A game you can go back and play through this day, even though it's an old shooter. It still holds up. It still looks
Still
great.
holds up.
Still
Yep.
phenomenal to play through nowadays.
Yep.
So
Yep.
great shout. I love that, and that's definitely going to be on a lot of people's top 5 of all time for sure. So it's a good spot. All right. So my number 2 is maybe going to cause some rioting. I don't know. We'll see. My number 2 is League of Legends. Very interesting choice here. I'm sure some people are like, what the fuck are we doing here? League of dude, I've played League of Legends since 2009. Okay, it is now 2026. I just fucking reinstalled it today, and I played 2 ranked games with Larry today. So I can still go back to this game and play it. It's got the worst community in the history of gaming communities behind it. It is the most toxic game ever devised. It is unbelievably okay. So the problem with League of Legends, if you don't, there's no way you probably don't know what League of Legends is, but to break it down, it is a MOBA. So it's a massive online battle arena game. Not the first of its kind. The first was Dota, and then the makers of the original Dota, which was a Warcraft 3 mod, branched off, created Riot Games, and then created League of Legends. So you play as a character, which you select, and the best way to tie it into like modern gaming is like if you've played Overwatch, there are these roles that are assigned to these characters. Similar concept here, except it's an isometric top-down view of a map, and you select a champion that goes into a role, which are split up in lanes in this game, and your goal is to basically push into the enemy territory, destroying their towers along the way to blow up their nexus, which is their big objective right in front of their spawn point. So, like I said, I played this game in pre-alpha. So might honestly been before 2009, but I don't know. I don't know why I started playing it, but pretty much initially from this game's launch, it kind of exploded, and everybody that was PC gaming at the time was playing League of Legends. So I got kind of sucked up into it, and it still has yet to let me go this far along into life. So it's a hyper competitive game, so there is no voice chat, but the text box is a cesspool of absolute shit. I mean, you make one mistake in the game and the whole team is fucking raging at you, and then you've got the enemy team commenting that this one minor mistake that you made, they're all fucking dogpiling on you. It's a very, very hostile environment for a video game. It's like no chill at all. There's no chill regardless of whatever mode you're playing. If you're just playing casuals or ranked or what, it's always a fucking nightmare. But if you can block that out, it's a very fun game. There's a lot of strategies, a lot of little mini mechanics that you have to learn to get good at the game, like CSing and things of that nature. And really not a big strategy gamer guy, or like you said before, you don't like RTSs. I don't either. This has that visual style, and there's a lot of like strategy that goes into the game itself. But it just works for me. So I've always been able to hop in and play it. I've spent so much money in microtransactions in this game. I could fucking buy I could buy a used car at the minimum. But that's over like 20 years. So give me a break.
Yep. No, I didn't say anything.
And then on top of that, I've got to be 10,000 hours deep. At least, 20 years.
Oh my God.
I played nothing but this game for probably 6 to 7 of those years. I only played League. So it's just ever absorbing game. I love the property. I love the IP. I love the characters. I love the lore they've established. I've pretty much played every spin-off game that they've released. I watched Arcane, which is the fucking League of Legends character show, and that's continuing on. And I am constantly one that tunes into pro League of Legends matches and watching those and stuff. And it's just, I'm into the community. And if you've played a lot of League and you watch pros, you can see like how skill expressive they are and how sucky you are, you know what I mean? So it's just fun to watch if you kind of understand what's going on. And there's another game that I started, like I said, way back in the day. I've pretty much drug friends of mine into the game that had no intention of playing it, but like I got Hysterical Ant, just call him that. I got him playing League of Legends. Got my buddy Larry's like fucking redneck, redhead, chubby dude, asphalt worker, man's man type of dude. I got him playing League. He plays League every fucking day still. He's like 3 years deep, plays League every fucking day because I took him into the game. I got my brother Daxton playing League of Legends. I got Morgan playing League of Legends. I got my aunt Megan playing League of Legends. I got her boyfriend playing League of Legends.
Holy shit.
I've like sucked in so many people into that game.
And now they hate you for it.
Oh yeah. Well, most of them have dropped it, thankfully, at this point. But, yeah, I've just, and that was always fun to me. Like, I suck at League. I will say outright, I fucking suck. For the amount of time I have played in that game, I have no excuse to be as bad as I am. But I'm at the perfect level that I will teach a nobody how to play, and then they'll get hooked, and then before long, they'll be better than me. Like, my buddy Larry, way better than me. But it's just, a large portion of my life is devoted to League of Legends. It can't not be in my top 5 ever because of how,
right.
And again, it's just an impactful thing for me. So it's got to be here. Not my number 1, but it's damn close.
Damn, that's cool. I would not have guessed the toxicity in this game.
It is horrible. It's
really
horrible. It's like horrible bad. And the problem is you need to, like, if you're playing ranked, you can only duo queue. So you can't take a full 5-man and play ranked. So you have, like, there's pings and shit, but you have to coordinate with your team. So you have to use that box. So
okay.
And the second someone's super toxic and you have to mute them and you don't get their text chat anymore, that takes a big portion of your win potential down because you can't communicate with them. Yeah. Not that, 80% of the community doesn't want to work with you anyways, so it's not like it's that big of a deal, but it does reduce your win probability. So, yeah, it's crazy. And it is, like, League, for example, is much more gameplay mechanic driven than strategy, whereas Dota kind of went the other direction. So Dota is much more like map objectives are very important and coordination is very important, whereas League of Legends, you can be more individually skill expressive and kind of dominate a game that way. So it's not as reliant on your team, but it's still just this genre you have to coordinate. And I prefer that to Dota's current style. I prefer the very skill expressive, very player dependent gameplay feel of League over Dota,
Right.
and that's why I stuck with that game. But
Yeah, that's cool. I never played League. I never played Dota. I did play a bit of Smite. Is really my only like, MOBA experience. It's just never been my go-to. I do like it for what it is. But yeah, never
I
got
don't
into
think
League.
Smite compares personally.
Yeah,
It does kind of sort of, but it just takes an entirely different skill set to play
yeah,
League
yeah.
because it is a top down game. You're clicking to move, and
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I forgot the
it's
difference there.
you're clicking to move. You're using your keyboard and
Yep.
your QWER for your skills.
Yep.
And like you have to last hit in League of Legends, whereas in Smite, if the minion or the creep dies, you still get some gold even if you don't last hit. You get nothing if you don't last hit in League of Legends. So like it's just a much more. It is a very skill expressive game. You have to like build a skill set to play it. But
Sure. Makes sense.
I mean, here's what I will say: if you haven't played it, you have not played it. I would recommend you do not play it. Don't get convinced to play it. If you do, you will get stuck.
I think I'm good.
You will get stuck in it for years. I mean, it is so. It sounds terrible, but the game is really fun if you can get into it. Like there's almost no better feeling than a League game going your way and just shit stomping people. But yeah, League of Legends.
Yeah,
it's up there for me. I love it.
Very cool. It's awesome.
I love it.
I should have saw that one coming, but I didn't think of it beforehand. So
yeah, well,
good shout.
We definitely know each other's number ones. We've talked about these many times.
Yes, we have. All right.
So we know there's no
ones.
surprises for us, but you guys might be surprised.
Yep.
Maybe.
Okay. So my favorite game of all time is Earthworm Jim.
Oh, damn. All right.
No, I'm
man.
kidding. I'm kidding. Just wanted to throw you off. The best video game of all time is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. It is just an absolute masterpiece. So I struggled with, like, obviously Tears is just it's like Breath of the Wild point. It's like 1.5. I mean, it's the same. It's basically the same map. I hate even calling it a map. The same like land mass or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just grown upon. I mean, obviously you have the same Hyrule that was in Breath of the Wild. Couple things are changed. But on top of that, you have the Sky Islands and you have the depths. And the depths are literally the same land size as the entire Hyrule, just underground. So you have it's just like the whole map is then copied and put down below, and everything is dark. And you go into areas down there that it's pitch black. You can't see anything. You have to use these plants that light things up, and you attach them to your bow, and I just were shooting light things all over so I could see my way down there. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. The reason I like Tears more than Breath of the Wild's built the foundation, and then Tears just kind of, expanded upon it. Cam has joked about, break your weapon in the wild. The weapons all do have durability. The cool thing about Tears is the fuse mechanic that was built in to it. So you can take a pretty basic, pitchfork or, even a stick and attach things to it, and it makes it stronger. It makes it hit harder, and it makes it last longer. So like you don't break your weapons as quite as easily in this. Eventually they do, but the durability in this game, the weapon durability is definitely higher than it was in Breath of the Wild. And then tying into that is the Ultra Hand ability, which is, you just pick things up. The physics in this on an OG Switch were mind blowing. The stuff that you could do with this, the stuff that you could build, it was insane. You take this Ultra Hand and you basically mash things together. You build your own vehicles. You build your own, one of the big things in this was the hover bike. You basically take two fans and you glue them together to a control stick. You hop on and you can just fly around the entire map. You do have like a battery system that's built in. You start off with only like a small battery and you just build and build and build upon it. And I loved how you built upon it. You got these crystals and you went to this mine and you converted them into this battery, and then you just watched your battery gauge just climb and you get larger. Just thought that was a really cool thing to add on top of what Breath of the Wild had started. It just the building of all the stuff that you could ride around in was just crazy, and it ran fine. I mean, it you could bog it down by building these big complex things, but I built like this like mech thing that like could walk, by itself. It was just wild. The freedom, I guess, in this game is what I absolutely love. The story is fantastic, but all the things you can do off to the side of that, I thought were just absolutely amazing. They added things in that almost felt like, actually they originally were developer like tools. So like when the developers were designing like the depths and like the caves and stuff like that, they wanted a way to like basically go back up to the top without having to run and figure out a way to get back up. So you have this ability called what did they call it? Blanking. Ascend.
There you go.
You could hit this button and basically Link like kind of morphs into this thing and he like goes up, and you could be in the bottom of a cave, go down and get what you wanted down there, and instead of having to run all the way back, you just ascend and he goes up through the level, and all of a sudden he just pops back up on top of Hyrule Field. It was amazing. You could recall objects. So like all the puzzles and stuff where you had to like shoot a ball or something to land over there, and if you didn't get it right, you could recall it back. You could basically put an item into stasis. So you got like this, a boulder or something. You could put it in stasis while this big monster is coming at you. Hit it a whole bunch of times, and as soon as the stasis released, that item would rocket, so fast and knock out the enemies. There was just the gameplay in this I just thought was just absolutely amazing. I've talked about most of these things before, but I absolutely love this game. And then on the Switch 2, there's the Switch 2 version. Everything just looks prettier. It runs at a solid 60. It's just I've gone back and tried to start this one again, and I played it for a little bit, but it just nothing compares to the first time you play through Tears of the Kingdom. It was a very, very special game for me. I've got like 350 hours in this game. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I love it. We talked about open world games. It's not always Cam's thing. I love the freedom. I love the exploration. I just thought this game did it so well without being like an RPG. Like
Right.
you do level up in different ways, but it's not an RPG. It's an action adventure game, and it's just one of the best ones there is. So
I love that for you. I'm not gonna talk shit. I talk shit about this game all the time, I'm talking shit lovingly. I understand why people love this game. I understand why you love it. It makes sense that it's your favorite game of all time. It's beloved by nearly almost everyone, and I don't hate it, but I think it's funny to grind your gears a little bit.
I know.
Talk shit about it. These two games,
I get
but. Yeah, it is not a for me game, but this is not a for not just me podcast, so it don't fucking matter if it's for me or not. It's for you, and that is incredible. People love it. I would love to play. I mean, honestly, I just don't think I will. I think it's just not. It's not built for me. It's built for someone that likes to do all the exploring stuff and all that. And if that's what you're looking for, there is no better option, and that's fantastic. so both of our number ones are newer titles.
Yeah.
Were you like really surprised that a new title took your top spot over all of these like classics that you have and things like that? It was a weird feeling for me when it happened, because I was like,
Yes.
shit, maybe it's just like, this is like what's happening now, and I need to like analyze things, and maybe I'm just way over the board on this, but mine is a new game as well. So I struggled with that. I was just curious if you felt the same way.
Oh, absolutely. I thought, honestly, like, I didn't think after the multiple times I played Half-Life 2, I didn't think Half-Life 2 could be beaten
Mm-hmm.
in my mind by anything, to be honest. That game is just very special to me, but this game just did it in a different way. Granted, yes, they are very different types of games, but if you're putting them on a list, I put this ahead. And yes, I was surprised. And honestly, Breath of the Wild might have still beat half. I don't know. It was close, but Tears just
put it over. Yep.
Just put it over that edge for me. To put it at my number one. So
that's really interesting, because like you said, I mean, it's really hard. You might be 1-2 Breath of the Wild, Tears, then Half-Life. It's just Tears
but
is
I
so
didn't
much.
Want to like
you didn't want to just bing bing.
I didn't want to be like 5, 4, 3, 2 Breath, 1 Tears. That's why I'm like Breath is like in between there.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think that's awesome, and I'm really glad a game of that caliber came out on the Switch. It needed it, and it fucking delivered, which is fantastic.
It delivered.
My cousin Lincoln loves Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom as well. So shout out to Lincoln. Going to his grad party in Nebraska, 7.5 hours away. God damn.
It's worth it.
Dude, Nebraska is the worst fucking state to drive in. It is it's fucking bad. And it's 7.5 hours of fucking flat all the way there.
I've driven through Nebraska and Kansas. I think those are the two worst states I've ever driven through.
Bad. It's so bad.
It's bad.
Really bad. Like playing Mouse PI for Hire, you just start to like you're fucking everything's so monotone.
You forget like the last hour. You're like, was I driving?
What a fucking stray at that game for no reason. So my number one game of all time is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I finished this game and immediately didn't even hesitate, nothing. Just immediately it was like, this is my favorite game of all time, and it will not be beaten. Like immediately upon beating the game. I want to spoil it so fucking bad, and I know that you're not going to play it, but I don't want to ruin it for other people. But this is a turn-based RPG, which I didn't like going into this game. I just didn't like that old school RPG formula prior to this game. But the concept here was intriguing enough for me to check it out, despite the fact. And essentially, the concept behind the game is that you take over a group of characters in the city of Lumiere. And in Lumiere, in this city, there's this massive monolith out in the water, and on the monolith is inscribed a number. And if you are that age of that number, you gromage, or basically just disappear. You die and disappear into whatever. You're just gone. You're gone from the world at that point. And every year that number goes down. So there's been these expeditions for centuries, or well, decades, not centuries. It started at 100. There's been expeditions for decades going to try to kill the monolith, because they don't know what would happen if you kill the monolith, and if everybody would die, or if it would reset back to whatever, or maybe the whole system that this city is run by will be reset or gone, maybe, so these people can actually live full lives. So they send these expeditions out. There's never been a successful expedition. And in Expedition 33, you take control of the 33rd expedition. Wow. Here, that is the main plot, but the game goes like it's so weird because you say that, but that's just the first act. Like the game goes so far away from the original premise that there's so much beyond that. Like the original premise is kind of always a through line, but by the second act and the third act, that original premise that got you in the game isn't even a thing anymore because it goes so far away from that. And it does it in such a brilliant way. It keeps you on your toes throughout the entirety of the experience. There's a massive character death in the end of the first act that you would never see coming that takes you completely by surprise. And it's just there's never been a better told story in a game ever. Hands down, bar none. It's never been done before. And you get twist endings. You don't get twist midway and then another twist later. And then before you, like in Act 3, you're playing an entirely different narrative. The entire narrative shifts from what you originally thought it was. And it's not a bad thing. Like it blends it together in such a phenomenal way that it's truly a once in a lifetime narrative that I've never experienced anywhere else. On top of that, this has my hands down best soundtrack in video game history. Nothing comes fucking close to this soundtrack. And it's not even a soundtrack that I would listen to. It's not my genre. It's orchestral, I guess is the best way to put it. But and not only that, it's French. And the whole game is basically made by a team of French people. So the lyrics behind these tracks are all French. And it's amazing. And I still will listen to this soundtrack front to back and love it because it just reminds me of the game. Like it's unbelievable. And
That's cool.
You can listen to the soundtrack and love it without playing the game. I mean, it was composed by the developers. There's a 30-man dev team, by the way. So keep that in mind. It's a huge AAA game. It was made by 30 people. And they reached out to a guy on SoundCloud out of nowhere, out of the blue, and asked him to create and compose this game soundtrack. And so he made it. I mean, that's how it all came together. And it's the greatest soundtrack of all time. The combat system is turn-based with real-time elements, which I didn't know existed, but it works for me on so many different levels. So you basically pick a skill, but when an enemy attacks, you have the option to dodge or parry attacks. If you parry, you can deal damage back. If you dodge, you just don't take damage. But there's kind of like a little timing mechanic that's in the game just to kind of keep you engaged, which I appreciate because one of my biggest hangups with real-time or turn-based games is kind of snoozer. You pick your character, you pick your ability, and then you just kind of wait, see what happens, and then you kind of adjust your strategy. But this game, you're always invested. You're always hooked into the combat and things like that. So it works fantastic. And I love it. I love the characters. Again, to go back to the writing, every character is developed here and they're fully fleshed out into something I would have never expected out of a video game. I don't even know if this is a video game. This is a work of art. It really is a work of art in my opinion. It's so much more than a video game. And it's, people are coming after it like, oh, there was, AI, whatever, placeholder images in the game or something, which just means that they used AI prior to putting the renders of the characters in. So basically, fuck you. That's ridiculous. This game won swaths of Game of the Year awards. Obviously, with that type of positivity, you're going to have haters. I think those haters didn't play the game probably, and two, just can't accept a game being as good as this game is. But I fucking love this game. I will love this game for the remainder of time. I still think Jason needs to play this, even though I'm not going to be able to convince him to. It is the...
No, I do want to play it. I don't know.
Okay. On top of that, it's a turn-based strategy game, which sounds like it's going to be 250 hours long. You can beat this game in 20 hours. It's not an end-of-your-life game. It's a condensed, deep, very well designed narratively. I'm probably going to play this every year, probably for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That's
saying something.
I mean, you get to the end of the game where you have to go up against the final boss, which is not what you thought the final boss was going to be. But you get to that point and you have this open world area that you travel throughout to kind of go and do all your stuff. But you get to this point and you don't want the game to end. Like you consciously fight the game. Like I did. I consciously fought the end of the game. I was like, I am not going here. I do not want this to end right now. So I would go do every possible side thing I could possibly do, just because I was like, I don't want this to end. And then on top of that, it's a very meta ending that makes you feel things. So it's like, it's a fantastic game.
It's just, sounds like a masterpiece. I had the same thing with Tears of the Kingdom. Like, I knew there was a point where the game was going to end, and I avoided it like the plague. I did not want the game to end.
Mm-hmm.
The difference being, though, I already had freaking 300 hours in this game, and I still didn't want it to end. But and the other thing is, I want to go back and redo my whole Tears of the Kingdom thing after you just explained like that beautifully. I'm like, I didn't do that at all with fucking Tears of the Kingdom. I talked about mechanics and stuff, but that same kind of feeling that you have, it is what I had playing Tears of the Kingdom. I could not wait to get off work and get home and play the game. It was on my mind all the time, and it sounds like this is kind of how you were. And 100%. One of the funny things is that I remember is we were on break one day before you had started playing this, or maybe you had just kind of dabbled in it, and like I think Mike Anderson and a couple other people were talking about it, and you're like, yeah, I'm giving it a shot. I don't know. And it went from there to like this whole other level for you.
It got me bad. And I haven't had that, like, it's kind of sad, but I haven't had that like itching to get home and play a video game since I got out of high school. You know, that hasn't really happened to me since then. And this game was like, God, I got to get off work. I got to go home. I got to fucking continue. I'm thinking about fucking Claire Obscure, listening to the fucking soundtrack all day. Like, I got to fucking get home. I got shit to do.
I think there might have been a day or two that I didn't come to work because I wanted to play Tears of the
Kingdom.
Yeah,
fuck yeah, dude, fuck 'em. But yeah, that's my number one. I don't think it will ever be topped for me. I can't even envision another project that would outdo this. It's if there's anything on this list I'm confident about, it's my number one. Sounds like that's the same for you. That's like that's the same. One thing I'm very confident in. So I recommend everyone, regardless of what your preferences are, your tastes are, check out E33. I really think you need to.
Fantastic.
God, what a goddamn game, dude.
What a game. Well, this mini pod has kind of turned into a
regular pod,
a mega pod in a way. But do you want to take a minute to shout out some honorable mentions? I've got a pretty sizable list.
Yeah, let's do it.
Games that were very close, but I had to kind of trim it down. I'll run through mine real quick.
Run through them, man,
Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I mean, I loved it. Played the crap out of it. I had a ridiculous amount of hours in that game. Skyrim was great, but there's just something about Oblivion that I just absolutely loved. The Borderlands games, Borderlands 2 was absolutely amazing. I fell in love with looter shooters because of that game. Witcher 3, fantastic, epic, massive RPG that I absolutely loved. Shadow of the Colossus was a game that I just loved the mood of that game. I loved climbing those monstrous things and taking them down as this little freaking peon of a guy. I had Metroid, Super Metroid in there, but I love the Metroid Prime games. The original Metroid Prime is phenomenal. I got Red Dead Redemption 2 in there. Fantastic story, fantastic gameplay. The Last of Us games.
Never played those. That's a sin, isn't it?
Dude, those are so good. So good.
PS5 owner, haven't played either of them.
Yep. It's those are worth it, man. I'm telling you. I put Jak 3 on there. I absolutely played the shit out of Jak 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got, my Freedom Fighters.
Of course. Metal Arms.
Yep. And then I had a big period of time where I was into rhythm games. Guitar Hero came out, and I thought that was just.
They need to come back. It's time.
We had parties.
We're ready. Yeah. We're ready for more Guitar Hero, by the way. We're fucking ready. Bring it back.
Bring them back. Dude, Guitar Hero came out, and it was I was like good. Like we would have people over and stuff, and like, my friends would be like, how in the fuck? They're like, you don't even play guitar. I'm like, it's not a guitar though. It's just buttons and making sure you're hitting them at the right time. I got really good at Guitar Hero, and then Rock Band came out with the drums, and dude, when my brother and I lived with each other in this house we rented, we had parties, and like they were like kind of revolved around Rock Band. I mean, at one point we had so many goddamn people in that house, and they weren't all there to play Rock Band. There was people drinking and doing whatever, but like we had and I was in a real band at the time, and I was having more fun playing this goddamn video game, and I had my mic stands there, and people were like, it looked like a band was set up in our living room. So just great games. Rhythm games need to come back.
I think so too. Like, what the fuck? What are we doing? There's a game out right now called Dead is Disco that I can't wait to fucking play on PC. It's a
really? Yeah.
It's a beat 'em up, but it syncs to your music, so it looks fucking cool.
Dude, that's really cool. So
that's not a rhythm game, but that's pretty cool nonetheless. Those are great shouts. I gotta be honest, I almost put Pragmata on my top 5. I almost put it on there, but I was like, boy, this is fucking new. So it's like,
you could throw Pragmata in my honorable mentions too.
It was like, god damn, you're not even done yet. We talked about it prior to the pod. I was hoping this was going to be the pod. We could fucking go into it, but it's not quite yet. Very close.
I want to save it to for one of our next actual episode. Yeah, it'll be the Pragmata spoiler cast.
Yeah, it is very good. So that game narrowly missed, and I probably just missed because it's still a little too new and I wasn't sure on it.
Yeah.
Need for Speed Heat. That's my favorite Need for Speed game of all time. If I would have put a racing game in here, which I absolutely love racing games.
I do too. And I don't even have one on.
Yeah. Their ceiling is not as high as some of the narrative stuff that we've covered and stuff like that. Yep. So he is phenomenal. It's the best Need for Speed. It undoubtedly. So I absolutely love Dispatch as well, which again is very new and probably could have caught the edge, but it's nostalgia took over. Okay, so it's very hard for me to throw in something that's brand fucking new with that. But for me, I've played so many more narrative games over the last 2 to 3 years prior, basically because I've started making reviews on my own personal channel, and then we started this project, and I've just stuck to my narrative stuff. But before that, it was League of Legends, Call of Duty, Battlefield, fucking sports games and shit like that. So I don't have a wide net of narrative stuff like Jason does, because he's been playing these types of games his whole life. So That's tough. But I would have loved Returnal on this list. I would have loved to put maybe like Cuphead on this list, or Stellar Blade, or there's so many things. I thought the Marvel Spider-Man game was a lot of fun. A couple years ago, I still haven't had the time to play 2. Then you got Final Fantasy X, which was a very narrow miss for me as well, just because that game was unbelievable. And I played that because I played Expedition 33 and was ready for more turn-based. So I jumped into 10, and that was a good choice because 10 bucks.
10 is so good.
Yeah. GTA 4 is my favorite Grand Theft Auto game of all times, but that couldn't really be squeezed in here. There's just so many fucking games that could be on a list like this, but shit, I don't know what else. What else is there? There's a lot of shit. God of War 3 probably could have made the list for sure. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah,
hard, very hard.
It's hard, man. It's tough.
I mean, if I was looking at like just games, not impact, it would look very different. I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Yeah,
same. I went deep. I went nostalgic and went like what really hit me over the years. And
God damn, fucking games are cool, man.
So cool.
Super cool. If you'll indulge me. Oh, the Infamous series is fantastic as well.
Oh, I almost put Infamous, both of them, Infamous and Second Son. Yeah.
Ooh, those are so good as well. They got that little good and evil thing like you have with KOTOR.
Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you'll indulge me, I want to rant about Soros before we get out of here, because
let's hear it.
Have you followed this at all? Do you know where I'm going here?
No, I do not.
Okay, so
I'm curious.
Soros is a very good game mechanically, and when I covered it last week, I was very high on it. I was super high on it. Like I was telling Jason, you got to come play it. I still think you got to come play it.
Yeah, I still want to play it.
This game could not have ended worse than it did. It's impossible for it to have ended worse than it did. So. Spoilers. I'm going to put a massive spoiler warning up right now. I'm going to cover this entire game. It's so disgraceful to me that I have to do this. So if you don't want Soros spoilers, you can end the video or whatever, but I'm going to rant for a while.
See you later.
In Soros, you play as Arjun Devrov, who is a member of the fourth echelon. So what they do is they go to this planet called Carcosa. And from what I can gather, again, this game isn't fully about the story. It's mostly about the gameplay. But this planet Carcosa is a potential new hospitable planet for humanity or something, basically, is what I gathered. I'm not entirely sure. But they sent these echelons up, 3 prior to echelon 4 that Arjun's on. And in the first echelon, Arjun's wife, ex-wife, I guess, was on Expedition 1. Okay, so she got this message from the developer, or from the head of this corporation that you work for, and the name escapes me. Doesn't matter. She gets this email, and she's a very established, I don't know if she's a biologist or something. So her skill set would be very necessary for the success of establishing colonies on Carcosa. Okay, but she gets this email, and obviously her choice at this point is she has to, if she accepts this contract, she's going to Carcosa to never return. She's going forever. There's no going back. So she's married to Arjun Devrov. They were childhood lovers. They fell in love when they were kids or whatever, and they've had their whole life together. But basically, Arjun goes down a cycle of alcoholism and I guess temper tantrums, not really violence per se, I don't think, but he has a temper issue or something. So basically, she gets this email. She says no initially, but they have marital issues, and eventually she says yes, and off she goes. So that was kind of the end of their marriage, or whatever. So whatever. Arjun, he tries to work with this company because he wants to go chase after his ex-wife that basically divorced him and left and doesn't want to see him anymore. So he kind of is like the sorry ex-lover that can't get over his teenage girlfriend from middle school. Or it's kind of weird, okay? It's like you're an adult male. Come on, brother. Anyways, that's the whole plot. Is he's there as an Echelon security expert on Echelon 4 to save the prior Echelons that have gone, but in reality, he's really only there to find his wife. So there you go. That's like the main plot line. Okay, so you beat the final boss. Okay, so you go through, you beat the final boss, and you get an ending. A fine ending. So the game tells this story more subtly than I just dumped on you.
Yeah.
It's much more subtly paced throughout the game, so it's not just like a Jesus Christ, this dude is fucking 40 and he can't get over one lady type of thing. So it tells it more subtly, and it's fine. It's not great, but it's fine and it's sufficient. So you beat the final boss, which is King. And then you get an ending and you get dropped back into the passage out of nowhere. But I just kind of figured, okay, well, the game is, you can finish doing whatever. But no, there's another ending. So, from what I understand, no requirements to unlock this second ending, unless I got the requirements passively without thinking about it. But they go full fucking, the only word I can say, they go full fucking woke for the second ending, and it makes no fucking sense to me, okay? So they had an ending. The game ended. I was fine with it how it ended. Then you get to the second portion where his ex-wife is now a lesbian, and she's in love with one of her people that she left on Echelon 1 with, Kira. So now they're in love, okay? And Arjun and his ex-wife, Nitya, they have a tradition where his family planted a tree, and they do it as a ceremonial marriage thing. So they did that on Earth, Arjun and Nitya, but then Nitya and Kira plant this tree on Carcosa. So now there's this big memorial tree in the middle of the game, just signifying their love together. Okay, and so it's like, what the fuck are we doing here? We don't need this. Okay, so I don't know how to explain this. I don't have a problem. I've said this so many times. I don't have a problem with same-sex relationships. I don't want them fucking shoved in my goddamn throat. And then to make it even worse, they had a fucking ending, and they decided that they wanted that if you wanted to play more, guess what, dude? Here's all of our fucking woke ass agenda shit shoved right in your fucking face. And you know what else? Everything that they told subtly in the first portion of the game gets shoved right in your fucking face in the second portion of the game. So you get the lesbian relationship, and then Arjun becomes a sad fuckboy the entirety of the last piece, because he's just like, at this point, he doesn't give a fuck about anybody else. He's going for his ex-wife, who's got a lesbian lover, and fuck everything else. And now I'm sad because I'm realizing my ex-wife's in love with a woman. What the fuck are we doing here?
Holy shit.
They had an ending. The game fucking ended. Just end the goddamn thing. And it's not like this is a locked ending. This just pops after you beat the game. So the first ending isn't really the ending. You just get this woke ass, same sex, lovey dovey, fucking weird. And then Arjun becomes this sad, fucking depressed, bitch ass guy. It's just like, it just takes the whole fucking story and shreds it into a billion fucking pieces for no goddamn reason. The game would be there's no fucking reason for the second ending, and it's literally just shoved with every fucking narrative that we are so tired of as gamers.
Jesus
And this is after
Christ.
24 hours. The game took me 24 hours to beat, and it was fine because this narrative was just mid. But the game was fucking fantastic. And
Right.
then you get to the fucking last 2 hours, and it's just fucking filth. Pissed me off so
Wow.
bad. And let's. Okay, you're on the internet. Okay, I understand. This is like, oh, this guy is a fucking white national. He loves only white people. He can't tolerate same-sex relationships. It's nothing to do with that. But it's just, you can feel this was just stuck in there just to fucking meet some sort of stupid fucking agenda that.
I was going to say, for what reason?
Yeah, they ruined the whole fucking plot for me in 2 hours after I just spent 24 hours with it because it didn't feel organic, didn't feel natural. It felt fucking stuck right on the end for no fucking reason. If they had led to Nietzsche and fucking Kira with this fucking thing and whatever during the 20 hours prior, I would have been like, oh, okay. But then they turn this big badass Arjun Devrov dude that you've been playing the whole game as into this sobby, sorrowful, fucking like miserable, like, what are we doing, bro?
Oh
like,
my God.
It changed my perspective of the character. It changed my perspective of the entirety of the narrative for no reason. And I can't say this enough. I have no problem with representation of other races, with same-sex narratives if they're told correctly. But this is not the right way to do it, okay? It's just tacked on horrendously. The worst implementation of this I have ever seen in my entire life. And I'm going to sound like the worst person on the internet, and we're probably going to lose anybody that listens to this now.
No.
But
no. Wow.
I don't know what to say. I have never felt so like physically backhanded by a game in my entire life.
So, and you didn't know you hadn't read or heard anything about this prior to seeing it.
No, and you know what's, if you fucking look online right now for this game, I shit you not, people are starting to fucking change their tune because they're getting to this point and they're seeing it. And it's the internet. So the vocal minority is of the, we love this in games. So if you have my opinion, you're a fucking asshole. You're a bad dude. You're fucking, you're a piece of shit, and you can't respect good narrative when it's put in your face or whatever the fuck. So there's a bunch of slanderous articles out there about people and their reviews changing, going negative after the woke ending. It's not even a secret ending. It blindsides the ever-loving Christ out of you. It's so unbelievably bad, and it's worse because you get a fucking ending. Like the game could fucking end right there.
And
it tells the same. Arjun's kind of a little bitch boy. It tells that story, but much more subtly, so you can still like have hope for him.
Right.
Not and in the fucking rest.
Respect the character more.
Not at the end of the fucking game.
Because you were like, have you seen anything? I'm like, no, I don't even know what you're talking about. But like now that you say that, I'm like thinking, oh God, people are probably just having a heyday with it online. No, I hadn't seen anything.
Oh yeah. And dude.
Why?
I feel really bad talking about it, but I don't, because it's my honest thoughts. And like I don't even know what to say. I don't know what, dude, it's
that is so far from what I thought you were gonna say.
Yeah,
I mean, you weren't happy, but I'm like, that is probably one of the last things I thought that you were gonna say is how this ends.
I don't know what to think about. I don't know what to think about it, but it fucking wiped it off. The game is really fun, but dude, the way, I mean, just the forced narrative there at the end, it
did something to you. Holy
I
shit.
don't know if I can even put it. I don't know. I can't really. I don't know what's going to happen with this now. I almost never want to touch it again. It was that like severely out of place. Like it was so far out of left field that I don't know if I even care to bother with it anymore. I'll just play Returnal instead. And that is unbelievable with how I was glazing the fuck out of this game last episode.
Oh, yeah.
Last episode, I was glazing the fuck out of this game. And now I feel like an absolute chode. Because it's just horrible.
The game was great up until that point, and now this has affected the whole rest of the game that you've already played.
I don't even, dude. I've never experienced it before. It's so bad. It's so. I guess I know what the Mass Effect 3 people feel like now when they just got their little cutscene. I don't know.
Yep.
But I feel like this is almost worse.
That was the whole thing too. Yeah. Jesus, man.
Anyways, the game is fun, but prepare yourself. Or just do the right thing, and when you get kicked back to the passage, just fucking turn it off. Don't even fucking listen to the end cutscene.
Game's done. Yeah. Right there. Wow.
Anywho's, you got anything you want to follow up on now that I got that completely out of my system? Well, you don't need to top it, but
well,
what about Skate?
No.
Skate could have made a top 10 list.
Oh,
yes. You know, Skate, pretty solid.
Yes, it could have. What was the other one I was just thinking? Oh, fucking Mario Kart. I mean,
damn. Yeah.
But like you said with racing, it's just it's only
so far
so high.
Yeah,
they're fantastic games, but it's just you got to think about everything else. I mean, I will always love Mario Kart, but they don't affect me like these other ones that I mentioned.
Yeah, and
did.
Ghost of Tsushima is a shout as well. Ghost of Tsushima is fantastic.
Yeah.
You didn't probably play that, but good stuff.
No, I didn't, but I've heard great things.
Yeah, it's very good. Very good story.
I even threw on there was a game that I absolutely loved on the OG Xbox called Full Spectrum Warrior, which was like tactical, military, like total, not usually my type of game, but like you had to you controlled two squads, the Alpha and Bravo team, and you're like invading this like made up like third world country or whatever, and you have to position your team. I just look it up because I'm going to do a terrible job, but like you have to like position your team, and like if you run like across an alleyway without like thinking about where your characters are going to be positioned when they get over there, I mean like two shots you kill your character. Like it's very like realistic in that sense. It actually was developed in coordination with the Army as like it was going to be like a training sim or something. Oh dude, it was so good.
Nice.
So
they made a free to play training game that was fucking piece of shit. America's Army.
Oh really?
Some free to play shooter. It was a piece of fucking shit.
Yeah.
Boy, I am so.
I have anything else?
I don't want to end on a fucking sour fucking Soros explosion. But no, I would look it up, dude. It's
I think I will.
It's I just can't.
That's just so bizarre.
I can't believe.
No.
Oh, and then I will also mention I'm kind of game rutting right now. I'm kind of in a fucking.
I heard.
I'm kind of in a fucking rut, dude.
Kind of bouncing off stuff and.
Yeah, I'm in a fucking rut. I started Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I like the combat in that game.
Oh really?
I'm early, but I don't know.
I've only played the demo.
Well, there's no. It's a story game, but I don't know. What else did I fucking play?
It's on sale right now, and I thought about picking it up. It's fucking 90 gigs on. Oh
boy, that's a big honker on Switch.
On Switch, it's massive.
Like what I started playing PGA 2K25. I restarted Lords of the Fallen again. In my downtime here, and that fucking failed again. I don't like the combat in that game. Even though they've reworked it, I still just don't think it feels very good. So that was something I bounced off. I guess I got Wu Chang, and I'm going to keep going with 7, but I just am not a fan of that. I'm just not a fan of the combat, and that's going to really be a problem. So
yeah, I picked up Wild Hearts. Was on like a deep sale.
Oh shit! Okay.
And I was like, ooh, I just downloaded it and it's just sitting there. I want to start it, but I don't because I have to finish these other games first. But it'll be coming up.
The only mandatory is Pragmata.
Oh
you,
yeah,
you
that's
now have a week and a half. So god damn it, you
it'll
get
be
that
done.
bitch done. You're close. You're
it'll
like
be done.
within. Well, you're within an hour, depending on the final boss.
My playtime, I just checked before we came on here, was 9 hours and 32 minutes. So,
I mean, you're on the last section.
Yeah,
it's just going to depend
close.
on the final boss.
Yep.
And,
well, and then, I don't want to spoil. There's a part where
hold on, spoilers. Just rip it. I already fucking spoiled Soros.
There's a part that I thought was going to be the final boss, because there's a part where you're kind of waiting for something to happen with Diana, and you're just kind of like, and then this thing comes through. No, the one of those combat bots that's infected with that stuff busts through that window, and I was oh, this is going to be it, and then that's totally not it. So
no, it's not it.
It's not it.
You know the final boss, but
oh yeah, I know who it's going to be. I'm just very curious on how it's going to be set up.
Quite well, in my opinion. Like I said, that game probably could have hit. That game probably should have been my top 5. So, like when I structured my top 5, like I said, I did genres first, and if I would have done that, Need for Speed Heat would have made the list. And I was like, I don't think that's.
I did the same thing.
I don't think that's
like, no, I gotta go with just what's hit me the hardest over the years, and that's what I did.
Okay, so much for a mini podcast. We just did a no breakless. We just did a no breakless like 2-hour long fucking thing. But
well, our top 5 consoles it was like an hour.
Yeah, it was an hour.
I'm like, this will be very close, but I guess when you really start digging into why you love these games, you tend to talk a little bit more. So
yeah, I'm not gonna call it a mini. I don't know if I'm gonna call it a mini. It's still not like a regular show, so it's still.
It's not a regular show. It's just
it's gonna be a medium. I don't know. Anyway,
it's a longy.
It's all long. No, all right. Well, that's that.
Yep.
Jason, don't be a fucking stranger over the next couple of days, even though we're gonna not talk for a week and a half. So.
Oh, I won't be. You know I won't be.
Okay, good. All right. Well, thanks for watching this long pod cast where we talk.
Mini.
Yeah, the long dongy. We will be back on the 18th. Damn, day after my birthday.
Damn.
I'm about to be 32.
Look at you getting old.
It's kind of weird doing it. What are we gonna do Sunday? Oh, I'm gonna be driving, but it's gonna be weird. Anyways, go spend time with your mothers.
Yes.
And all that.
You would have already spent time with your mothers.
Oh yeah. Hope you enjoyed your mother time. Yeah, we'll talk to you guys on the 18th. We'll have content still flowing.
Oh yeah.
So just tune in for that and join the damn Discord while you're at it. That's a show.
It's fun in there. Yeah.
It can be if we get more people talking shit, like Devin. Talking about Samson. Game stinks.
His review was like, Jesus,
dude,
man.
I was not expecting. I was like, just give me an out of 10. I thought I would just get a fucking script.
Gameplay.
I feel like God,
sound.
Damn, he's applying to be our third host. I was like, holy shit.
I know. I thought that for a second. I'm like, man.
Holy fuck. Take my job, why don't you? But no, it was a good review.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Games. I just lost you.
Games are great.
For fuck's sake. What a great show. Fucking awesome show.
Show's over.
Hey, show's over. All right. Adios, amigos. Thanks for watching. Don't play Soros, or if you do, stop at the right time. Jason beating Pragmata. You guys should beat Pragmata too by next week. By the 18th. Play it by the 18th. You will not regret it. It's very, very good.
Very, 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 very good.
We still haven't figured out how to end a show, Jason. So why don't you just lay a statement on me, and I'll cut it at the end of your statement.
Oh. play Pragmata, play Tears of the Kingdom, play Expedition 33.
Yes.
Fantastic games. Games are great. Peace, guys.
Bye.